1. The beginning of a friendship. Alex and Jake had been best friends since childhood. Growing up in the same neighborhood, they were inseparable, sharing everything from secrets to dreams of the future. Alex, a kind-hearted and ambitious young man, was always the optimist, while Jake, though equally driven, had a competitive streak that sometimes overshadowed their friendship. As they grew older, their bond remained strong, even as their lives became more complex with the introduction of new relationships and ambitions. During their university years, Alex met Emma, a beautiful and intelligent girl with a radiant personality. Alex was immediately smitten, and after a few weeks of shy exchanges and awkward dates, they began a passionate relationship. Jake, meanwhile, found himself increasingly drawn to Emma as well, but he kept his feelings hidden, unwilling to jeopardize his friendship with Alex. Chapter 2. The Blossoming Romance. Alex and Emma's relationship grew quickly. They spent almost every moment together, exploring the city, attending university events, and enjoying long conversations late into the night. Emma admired Alex's kindness and determination, while Alex was captivated by Emma's intelligence and charm. They seemed perfect for each other, and their friends often commented on how happy they looked together. Jake, however, struggled with his growing feelings for Emma. He was envious of Alex's happiness, and though he tried to push his emotions aside, they only intensified. He felt torn between his loyalty to Alex and his desire for Emma. The more time Jake spent with the couple, the more difficult it became to hide his feelings. Chapter 3. The Seed of Doubt. Jake's jealousy began to manifest in subtle ways. He started to make small, seemingly innocuous comments to Emma, questioning Alex's commitment or suggesting that Alex might not be as invested in the relationship as she believed. He would say things like, "Are you sure Alex is ready for a serious relationship? He's so focused on his career right now." Or, "Alex was talking to that girl from class the other day. Do you ever worry about him getting too close to other people?" At first, Emma dismissed these comments, confident in her relationship with Alex. But as Jake's remarks became more frequent, doubt began to creep into her mind. She started to notice things she hadn't before. Alex missing a call or being distracted during a conversation. She wondered if Jake might be right and if she was seeing Alex through rose-colored glasses. Chapter 4. The Turning Point. Jake's jealousy eventually led him to take more drastic measures. He began orchestrating situations to drive a wedge between Alex and Emma. He would tell Alex that Emma seemed distant and unhappy, and then he would tell Emma that Alex was becoming less interested in their relationship. Jake's manipulation was subtle, but effective. One day, Jake invited Alex out to a party without Emma, claiming it was just a guys' night. At the party, Jake introduced Alex to a group of girls and encouraged him to flirt, saying it was harmless fun. Photos were taken, and Jake made sure Emma saw them, carefully framing the situation to make Alex look guilty of straying. When Emma confronted Alex about the photos, he was baffled. He tried to explain that nothing inappropriate had happened, but Emma's trust had already been shaken. The tension between them grew, and they began to argue more frequently, each misunderstanding the other's intentions. Emma started to distance herself emotionally, and Alex, confused and hurt, didn't know how to fix what was broken. Chapter 5. The Betrayal unfolds. As the weeks passed, the tension between Alex and Emma reached a breaking point. Jake, sensing that his plan was working, continued to push them further apart. He started spending more time with Emma, offering a sympathetic ear and subtly encouraging her doubts about Alex. Emma, feeling lonely and confused, began to rely on Jake for support, not realizing that he was the source of her growing distrust. One evening, after yet another argument with Alex, Emma turned to Jake for comfort. They went for a walk, and as they talked, Jake confessed his feelings for her. He told her that he had always admired her, and that he believed Alex didn't truly appreciate her. Caught off guard and emotionally vulnerable, Emma didn't know how to respond. Jake leaned in and kissed her, and for a moment, she allowed herself to be swept away by the emotions of the moment. The next day, Consumed by guilt, Emma broke things off with Alex. She told him that their relationship wasn't working anymore, that they had grown apart. Alex was devastated. He couldn't understand what had gone wrong and was left heartbroken by the sudden end of their relationship. Chapter 6, Fallout. The breakup hit Alex hard. He withdrew from his social circle, avoiding friends and spending most of his time alone. He couldn't shake the feeling that something had gone terribly wrong, but he didn't know what. He missed Emma deeply, but more than that, he missed the sense of trust and connection they had once shared. Jake, meanwhile, was caught between guilt and satisfaction. He had successfully driven a wedge between Alex and Emma, but the victory felt hollow. Emma, though she had ended things with Alex, was still conflicted. She felt guilty for the kiss with Jake, and wasn't sure if her feelings for him were genuine, or just a reaction to the turmoil with Alex. Despite this, Jake continued to pursue Emma, hoping to win her over. However, their interactions were strained, and Emma couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. She began to question her own actions and started to pull away from Jake as well. Chapter 7, Discovery. As time passed, Emma started to reflect on her relationship with Alex and her growing distance from Jake. She began to piece together the events leading up to her breakup with Alex and realized that many of the doubts she had were planted by Jake. She remembered the small comments, the photos, and the way Jake had always been there to stoke her fears. Determined to get to the truth, Emma confronted Jake. She asked him directly if he had been manipulating her and Alex. At first, Jake denied it, but as Emma pressed him, his defenses crumbled. He admitted that he had feelings for her and had been jealous of her relationship with Alex. He confessed to planting doubts in her mind and orchestrating situations to make Alex look unfaithful. Emma was furious. She couldn't believe that Jake, someone she had considered a friend, would betray both her and Alex in such a way. She immediately ended her friendship with Jake, disgusted by his actions. Chapter 8, Apology. After confronting Jake, Emma realized she needed to make amends with Alex. She knew she had made mistakes by letting Jake influence her, and she regretted not trusting Alex more. Emma decided to reach out to Alex and explain everything, hoping that he could forgive her. She arranged to meet Alex at a quiet cafe where they used to go together. When Alex arrived, he was surprised to see her there, and his heart pounded with a mix of emotions: love, anger, and sadness. Emma could see the hurt in his eyes, and it made her even more determined to make things right. "I'm so sorry, Alex," Emma began, her voice trembling. She explained how Jake had manipulated her, how he had played on her insecurities and doubts. She admitted her own mistakes, acknowledging that she should have trusted Alex more and not let Jake's lies get between them. Alex listened in silence, his emotions swirling. He had suspected something was wrong but hadn't imagined the extent of Jake's betrayal. When Emma finished, she looked at Alex with pleading eyes, hoping for some sign of forgiveness. Chapter 9, The Road to Forgiveness. Alex took some time to process everything Emma had told him. The revelation about Jake's betrayal was shocking, but it also explained so much of what had gone wrong. He felt a mix of anger and relief: anger at Jake for betraying his trust, and relief that the love he had shared with Emma hadn't been based on lies from his side. After a long silence, Alex finally spoke. "I don't know if I can just forget what happened, Emma, but I do believe you, and I can see that you're genuinely sorry. It's going to take time, but maybe we can start over slowly." Emma nodded, tears of gratitude in her eyes. She knew it would be a long road to rebuild the trust they had lost, but she was willing to do whatever it took. They agreed to take things one day at a time, starting with rebuilding their friendship. Over the next few weeks, Alex and Emma spent time together, not as a couple, but as friends. They talked openly about their feelings, their fears, and their hopes for the future. Gradually, the walls between them began to come down, and the love they once shared started to resurface, this time built on a stronger foundation of honesty and trust. Chapter 10, The True Love Revealed. As Alex and Emma grew closer again, something unexpected happened. Alex began to realize that while he still cared deeply for Emma, his feelings had changed. The intense, passionate love they once shared had evolved into something different, a deep, enduring respect and affection, but not the same romantic love he had once felt. At the same time, Alex found himself thinking more and more about another person in his life, Lily. Lily had been a quiet, supportive presence throughout his struggles, always offering a kind word or a listening ear. She had never tried to insert herself into his life, but she had always been there when he needed someone. One evening, as Alex and Emma were talking, he realized something important. While he and Emma had mended their friendship, the spark of their romantic relationship had dimmed. They had both changed, and though they still cared for each other, it wasn't the same kind of love that had initially drawn them together. "I've been thinking, Emma," Alex said softly, as they walked through the park where they had shared so many memories. "I'm really grateful for the time we've spent together lately, and I'm glad we've been able to rebuild our friendship, but I think we've both moved on in different ways." Emma looked at him, understanding dawning in her eyes. "I think you're right, Alex," she replied. "I care about you a lot, and I always will. But maybe we're not meant to be together the way we once thought. Maybe we've both grown in ways that mean our paths are meant to go in different directions." They shared a quiet moment, both reflecting on how far they had come. It wasn't a sad realization, but rather a peaceful one. They had helped each other heal and grow, and now it was time to move forward. Chapter 11. The Realization of True Love. In the days following their conversation, Alex found himself thinking more and more about Lily. She had been a constant in his life, always there with a smile or a word of encouragement, but he had never really considered her as more than a friend. Now, though, as he reflected on everything that had happened, he realized how much she meant to him. One evening, Alex decided to visit Lily at her apartment. He wasn't entirely sure what he was going to say, but he knew he needed to see her. When Lily opened the door and saw Alex standing there, she smiled warmly, though there was a hint of surprise in her eyes. "Alex, hi, what brings you here?" she asked, stepping aside to let him in. Alex walked into the cozy living room and took a deep breath. "Lily, I've been thinking a lot lately," he began, his voice steady but his heart racing. "You've always been there for me through everything, even when I didn't realize it. You were the one who supported me, who cared about me without asking for anything in return." Lily blushed, looking down at her hands. "I've always just wanted to be a good friend to you. Alex, you've been through so much, and I just wanted to help." "I know," Alex said, stepping closer, "but it's more than that. Lily, I've come to realize that what I feel for you isn't just friendship. It's something deeper, something that's been growing inside me without me even realizing it." Lily looked up at him, her heart pounding. "Alex, are you sane?" "Yes," Alex replied, his voice soft but sure. "I think I'm in love with you. Lily, I've been so focused on everything else that I didn't see what was right in front of me, but now I know. You're the one I want to be with." Tears welled up in Lily's eyes as she smiled, her heart overflowing with joy. "I've loved you for so long, Alex. I never thought you'd feel the same way." Alex took her hands in his. "I'm sorry it took me so long to realize it, but I'm here now, and I want to be with you, Lily, if you'll have me." Lily didn't hesitate. She stepped forward and wrapped her arms around him, pulling him into a warm embrace. "I've always been waiting for you, Alex," she whispered, "and I always will." Chapter 12. A New Beginning. With Lily by his side, Alex felt a sense of peace and happiness that he hadn't known in a long time. Their relationship was different from what he had experienced with Emma, more stable, more grounded, and built on a foundation of deep mutual respect and understanding. As they spent more time together, Alex and Lily's bond grew even stronger. They shared their dreams, their fears, and their hopes for the future. They supported each other in their goals, always encouraging one another to be the best versions of themselves. Word eventually got around about Alex and Lily's relationship. Emma, who had also moved on and found peace in her own life, was genuinely happy for them. She even reached out to Alex to wish him well, and they remained on good terms, though their lives had taken different paths. As for Jake, he struggled to come to terms with the consequences of his actions. His betrayal had cost him both Alex and Emma's friendship, and he found himself isolated and regretful. Over time, Jake realized the depth of his mistakes and the damage he had caused. He tried to make amends by reaching out to Alex and Emma, offering a heartfelt apology. Alex, who had grown through his experiences, decided to forgive Jake, though their friendship would never be the same. He understood that holding onto anger would only hurt him more in the long run, and he chose to let go of the past and focus on his future with Lily. In the end, Alex and Lily's relationship blossomed into a beautiful love story, one that was built on trust, respect, and a deep connection that neither of them had ever felt before. They knew that their love had been forged through trials, and it was all the stronger for it. Together, they looked forward to the future, knowing that no matter what challenges came their way, they would face them together, hand in hand, with a love that had been tested and proven true. And so, their story ended not with heartbreak, but with a new beginning, one that promised a lifetime of happiness, built on the lessons they had learned and the love they had found in each other. Epilogue. The sun was setting over the peaceful town where Alex and Lily had made their home. Golden rays filtered through the trees, casting a warm glow over the small garden where they sat together, sipping tea and enjoying the quiet evening. It had been a year since their lives had changed, and as they looked out at the world around them, they reflected on how far they had come. Life with Lily was everything Alex had ever wanted, though he hadn't known it until she was by his side. Their relationship, built on a foundation of friendship, trust, and deep understanding, had blossomed into a love that was steady and fulfilling. They had faced challenges together, but each one had only strengthened their bond. Emma had also found her own path. She had moved to a new city and started a career she was passionate about, with new friends and experiences that filled her life with joy. Though she and Alex had parted ways romantically, they remained on friendly terms, occasionally exchanging messages to check in on one another. There was no bitterness between them, only gratitude for the lessons they had learned. As for Jake, he had taken time to reflect on his past actions. The loss of his two closest friends had been a harsh wake-up call, but it had also been the catalyst for real change. He had sought therapy, worked through his issues, and slowly started rebuilding his life. Though his relationship with Alex and Emma would never be the same, he had found peace in taking responsibility for his mistakes and learning from them. Sitting beside Lily, Alex couldn't help but smile as he thought about the journey that had led him here. The pain and heartache he had once felt seemed like a distant memory now, softened by the love and happiness that filled his days. He reached out and took Lily's hand, squeezing it gently as he turned to look at her. "I'm so glad we found each other," he said, his voice filled with sincerity. Lily smiled back at him, her eyes reflecting the same love and contentment. "So am I, Alex. It feels like everything that happened brought us to where we're meant to be." They sat in comfortable silence for a while, watching the sky turn shades of pink and orange. The world around them was peaceful, and they knew that no matter what the future held, they would face it together, with the love that had grown between them. As the first stars began to twinkle in the evening sky, Alex felt a deep sense of gratitude for the journey he had taken. The betrayal that had once cost him so much pain had ultimately led him to the true love. He had always been searching for a love that was real, enduring, and his to cherish forever. And so, with hearts full of love and peace, Alex and Lily stepped into their future together, ready to embrace whatever came their way, knowing that they had found something truly special in each other. The betrayal had led them to the truest love of all, and their story would continue to unfold in the days, months, and years to come.